fans considered Bond's 2000 season his most impressive to this point, it fails into comparison to what he accomplished in his next season. Now, one of the most cherished records in baseball is the single-season home run record. Babe Ruth set this mark in 1927 with 60 home runs. 34 years would pass before another Yankee, Roger Maris, would break the record with 61 blasts. That record stood for 37 years until 1998, when Cardinals first baseman Mark McGwire and Cubs outfielder Sammy Sosa famously battled for the crown. Sosa hit 98, which would have given him the record had McGwire not homered 5 times in the Cardinals' final 3 regular season games, setting a new single-season record.
Now, Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire, their only accomplishments were before this year, 2001, was striking out. They were not great outfielders. Mark McGwire was a first baseman. He wasn't a great first baseman. Sammy Sosa was a right fielder. He wasn't a great right fielder. They were not great at all. They won no MVPs, no awards, no nothing. So, and Mark McGwire always hit home runs. He was a huge guy, 6'5", maybe about 290 pounds. So their greatest accomplishments were home runs. Sammy Sosa struck out a lot, and he swung hard. So home runs were definitely a milestone for him. But Barry Bonds, on the other hand, the guy was an 8-time Golden Glove winner. He was a 7-time MVP. He stole 600 bases, hit over 300. Slugging percentage was over 800. Based on balls, broke records with that. Nobody was better than Barry Bonds before or after the steroid allegations. But yet, they deny him the Hall of Fame and the home run king. Not because allegedly he was on steroids, even though he won his case in court, but because they just can't have another Negro to kill their great white hope, Babe Ruth.
With 70. Fans expected McGwire's record to withstand the test of time. No player had ever hit 70 runs before. For that matter, prior to the 98 season, no player had hit even 60 aside from Maris and Ruth. Fans were confident McGwire's record would stand for another 40 years. Of course, Barry Bonds had other plans. Just 3 years after McGwire became the first player to hit 70 homers, Bonds would tie that record on October 4th with a 480-foot blast against Houston's Rodriguez. Just a day later, Bonds would break that record with a 440-foot blast against Dodger starter Chan-Ho Park to set the new single-season record high at 71. Now, just 2 innings later, Bonds would homer again, pushing his season total to 72, before hitting his 73rd and final home run of the season on October 7th against Dennis Springer. This was not the only record the Giants outfielder.
First off, anybody that didn't know anything, no, you can't throw nothing across the plate or near the plate to Barry Bonds. Even if you rolled the ball by the plate, he'll hit that over the fence. So as soon as they throw it, they might as well turn around and look out the field because it's gone. The guy was just that damn good. And with all those things, accolades I mentioned, even if he took steroids, he couldn't steroids can't do nothing about his timing. It was swinging. Steroids can't do nothing about him stealing all them bases. Steroids can't do nothing about him um, being a Golden Glove winner. Only thing the steroids could possibly do is help him recover from injury faster and or swing harder. But still, your timing, your speed, your your defense has nothing to do with steroids. They just wanted to find a way to keep him out.
Would break in '01, as Bonds would also set a new season highs for slugging percentage at .863, home runs per at-bat at 6.52, and walks of 171.
And they say that he became twice as big. Yeah, I can see how they can think that, because when he first came in 1982, he was skinny. But just 2 years later, he had muscles and he was not as skinny. And 2 years after that, he was a little bit bigger and he had hair on his head, but his hairline was way back here. So goes to show that one thing: baseball players aren't in the greatest shape. First off, it ain't like they're running all game like a basketball player or a football player. No, they eat during the game, eat after the game, eat before the game. So they gaining weight. And so from a person who from 21 years old to a person that's 43 years old, more than likely he's gonna gain some weight. And they say he gained twice his size and he lost his hair. How many black men do you know with a full head of hair after 40? Don't even make no damn sense. What they talking about? Black men naturally have low hair. If we have high hair, it's because we follow the trend, but mostly our heads are round and we have low hair. That's why we look good with low hair. And that's why other people who have low hair look like they're a chemo patient.
35 of which were intentional. His record-setting performance earned him another MVP, his fourth, and his first since '93. But in the midst of what was his most impressive year, rumors began to swirl.
They don't say anything about him not having a mustache. When he was 20 some years old, he had a mustache. When he first got from San Francisco, he had a mustache. So he lost his hair on his head and lost the hair on his lip. Is that due to steroids? Come on, man. If you go make up these stupid allegations or stupid theories, why didn't you say anything about his lip hair or lack thereof?
Regarding Bond's success. Only twice in the history of MLB had a player had a 60 home run season. Fans have now seen 5 such seasons in just 3 years. Why is it that a player who had never had a 50-year home run season now hits more than 70 at the age of 37? National suspicion did not deter Bond's production. Bonds followed his record-setting season with another exceptional year, leading the majors in batting average, OBP, OPS, slugging, and intentional walks, which had become the standard practice when Bonds approached the plate in crucial situations. His efforts earned the Giants a wild card berth, and this year, Bonds would finally put an end to his postseason blues, defeating both the Braves and the Cardinals en route to their first World Series appearance since '89. While the Giants would ultimately lose the World Series to the Angels 4-3, Bonds had stifled any complaints about his previous postseason struggles. In his 17 postseason games in 2002, Bonds earned 16 hits, 8 of which were homers, while posting a remarkable 1559 OPS and a 356 average. In the World Series against the Angels, Bonds hit 4 home runs with 13 runs batted in, all while batting a staggering 471. Perhaps this total could have been even higher had the Angels not intentionally walked Bonds 7 times. For
7
Bonds,
times.
this was vindication. Though the Giants had not won the series, Bonds had finally silenced the critics, or so he thought. By September of 2003, Barry Bonds was well into another electric season. He'd again lead the league in OBP, slugging, and OPS, but this year his accomplishments were underscored by an unexpected twist. In the summer of 2003, an anonymous tip brought to light the illicit proceedings of the Bay Area Laboratory Cooperative. Victor Conte, the founder of Balco, sold performance-enhancing drugs to high-profile athletes. An investigation of Balco presented a list of clients' names, a list that included Greg Anderson, Barry Bonds' trainer. Bonds was called to testify before a grand jury on the matter on December 4th, 2003. Though Bonds denied any use of steroids in his hearing, the press was quick to draw attention to Bond's physical changes. After coming to San Francisco, Bond's body nearly doubled in size. His hair fell out, along with the notable growth of his head, all of which were